Well, that was a long show to say the very least. But what is up, YouTube? It's your boy TheWalk71. Play stay with a 4 and I'm here with my Royal Rumble review for you guys. And my God, was this a long show? The show started at about 4 p.m. for the pre-show. Pre-show was 2 hours because this is one of the big four pay-per-views, so they decided to make it 4 hours instead of 3. And this show went over that. It's like 10:16 right now. The show just went off. Whatever, but let's get into the review because I'm not trying to be doing this all night, you know. But my notes went crazy, especially for both Royal Rumble matches, which we're going to have kind of fun talking about because of what happened. So anyways, we had the pre-show matches. Let's get these out the way. We had Kalisto, Lince Dorado, and Grand Metalik versus Jack Gallagher, TJP, and Drew Gulak in a 6-man Cruiserweight tag match. Weird part is they had blue ropes and not purple ropes. I don't know. I don't know. The Faces won the match. Kalisto hit TJP with the Salida del Sol, won the match. Boom. Next match, pre-show match you ended up getting was Gallows and Anderson versus the Revival. This is a rematch after what happened on Raw 25 when the Bullet Club, or my bad, the Balor Club, Scott Hall, DX all destroyed the Revival on the Raw 25, so they got the revenge, and the Revival actually got the win by chop blocking Carl Anderson, taking out his knee, and got the pinfall that way. That's interesting. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens between these two teams right now. So then after that, we had the Bobby Roode United States Open Challenge, right? And it was such an anticlimactic thing because the person that answered the challenge was none other than Mojo Rawley. And if you watched my last WWE review, like main roster wise, not NXT, it was Clash of Champions, and that's when Mojo Rawley changed his whole thing up. He turned heel, turned on Zack Ryder, and he had the pre-show match with Zack Ryder, and he had his entrance, and I went on his entrance, and it only gets worse. Like, he does the same thing, but this time he gets in a football position. He literally taps on the stage for the beat, and when the beat goes off, he runs into the ring. If that is the most unexciting entrance I've ever seen in WWE, I don't know what is. And then the match was meh. It was a middle SmackDown match, I guess. Bobby Roode hit the most unglorious DDT. Like, I don't think Mojo Rawley decided he wanted to wrestle tonight, as he didn't even try to kick his legs up to try to get air on it. It was alright. Bobby Roode retained the U.S. title. Anyways, we open up the show with AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship in a 2-on-1 handicap match, right? So the match starts with Sami and AJ. They've going at it for a minute. Then KO gets in, and they pretty much have nothing but stalemates between them. AJ hits a dropkick on Sami, tags Kevin Owens in. Then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are basically on offense. You know, AJ gets something in every now and then, but Sami and KO just continue to dominate AJ. And then it got to a point where Kevin Owens threw AJ into the barricade. There was one clean spot that I liked in this match where Kevin Owens monkey flipped AJ Styles into Sami Zayn, and AJ did a hurricanrana. That was clean, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. That was a clean little spot right there. Then after that, AJ hit the calf crusher on Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn saved Kevin Owens. AJ takes out Sami and then puts him back in and goes at it. I'm sorry. He takes out Sami Zayn, but then Sami Zayn gets back in the ring and goes at it with AJ. Then after that, AJ eventually hits the phenomenal forearm on Sami, but then Kevin Owens came in with the save during the pinfall. Then AJ and Sami began to trade shots. KO went for the pop-up powerbomb, but he wasn't the legal man because AJ dumped Sami Zayn to the outside, but he didn't get the tag with Kevin Owens. So AJ Styles reversed the pop-up powerbomb into like some kind of weird pin counter, and it was an illegal pin. The referee didn't check the replay, so AJ Styles retained. Then after the match, KO and Sami Zayn argued with Shane McMahon backstage, and they were like, "Did you see that?" And he just said, "Yup." And he's basically saying he's not going to do anything about it. So basically, KO and Sami Zayn got screwed over in the match, so you know they're going to do something on SmackDown complaining about how they got screwed over and stuff like that. So that should be, I guess, interesting. I really don't know. The match was alright. I mean, I could tell none of them really cared for this match because it was the opener. Not even like the opener factor, but the fact that like it was a 2-on-1 handicap match. I didn't expect much from it, and I didn't get much from it, so I guess it delivered in that factor. But anyways, the next match we ended up getting instantly was the Usos versus American Alpha 2.0, as the Usos like to call them, Benjamin and Gable. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. So at the beginning of the match, Benjamin and Gable had teased the finisher on Jey Uso. It was back and forth action for a while, but then Gable had chop blocked Jimmy Uso, slammed his leg into the ring post, and then they were just on the hunt for his leg at that point, working on his leg a lot. So Benjamin and Gable were dominating, and eventually Jimmy tags in Jey, and Jey goes crazy with a dive on Gable, brings him back into the ring. Him and Gable go teasing pins, using different moves to try to get the pinfall easier. Benjamin and Gable go for the finish. Jimmy saves it, but then gets kicked into the corner, and then Benjamin threw Jey into Jimmy like a buckle bomb into the turnbuckle. That was clean. And then Shelton Benjamin hit his finisher onto Jey for a near fall. I thought that was going to be one of the falls, was him hitting his finisher. Benjamin, oh no, not Benjamin, I messed up. Chad Gable had a moonsault on both of the Usos to the outside. Then Jimmy super kicks Gable, and Jey goes for the splash for a near fall. The Usos have a super kick party on Chad Gable for the first fall. Then after that, Shelton Benjamin came in, attacked everybody, threw people around. Then Benjamin and Gable had actually hit their finisher, the powerbomb bulldog move on the outside. It looked very dangerous because it looked like Jimmy broke his neck or something. Then Jey Uso had hit a schoolboy on Benjamin for the win because they were about to go for the finisher again. And boom, the Usos retained their titles. And honestly, this match sounded good on paper, but the match was meh. I wasn't a big fan of it. I don't know why I wasn't a big fan of it. It was just like there was so much they could have done. The match was like really short for a 2 out of 3 falls match. It felt like just one regular match. I don't know. I felt like this match could have did better, but honestly, they lost fair and square, so I don't see the point of Benjamin and Gable complaining to Shane McMahon again to get another match. So I think that's pretty much done between them. It was an okay match, I guess. On the Usos level of matches that they've had in like the past year, this was not one of them. But anyways, after that, WWE surprisingly did the unthinkable and put the 30-man Royal Rumble match, the traditional match that's been going on since the 80s, they put it as the third match on the show. The third match on the pay-per-view was the Royal Rumble match because they want to put over the Women's Royal Rumble match. But anyways, the match happens. They did promo, and I was like, oh, maybe they're just telling us about it for people first time watching it. You know what it is, so you know what to expect when a match happens. Nope, the match starts. Number 1 is Rusev gets a huge pop because Ada English announced him, and then Finn Balor came out, and they go at it for a bit. And then number 3 ends up being Rhino. Nothing really happens. Then number 4, which is Baron Corbin, he comes out, goes crazy on everybody, hits a deep 6 on Rhino, eliminates Rhino, but gets eliminated by Balor. And from there, Baron Corbin got pissed off, and then he took out Balor with the End of Days, hit Rusev with the End of Days, chokeslam Finn Balor, and then the referees and producers were all trying to get him away. Then Heath Slater came out, but then got clotheslined by Baron Corbin, and then Baron Corbin left. And after that, it was just nobody in the ring. Everybody's dead. Then the thing went off. But by the way, let me say this. The 90-second interval thing felt like 10 seconds. I felt like the 90 seconds thing wasn't really 90 seconds. It was like maybe 10 to 15 seconds before another person gets in. Unless a minute and 30 seconds can go by that quick. Because, nah, bro. You're not going to convince me at a minute and 30 seconds was like half a second, bro. I mean, half a minute, bro. Get out of here. But anyways, Elias comes out, gets a huge pop. He's talking, playing on his guitar. He kicks Slater while he's walking, and he continues to play the guitar. Then he's talking, performing. The number 7 got a big pop out of me as Andrade Cien Almas came out with the NXT Championship, and Zelina Vega came out with the championship. He went crazy on Elias, but eventually Elias got the upper hand. The number 8 ended up being Bray Wyatt. He attacked everyone, doing Bray Wyatt things. The number 9 ended up being Big E. He gave Heath pancakes because Heath was like on the outside of the ring. Gave Heath pancakes because why not? Then Bray Wyatt basically pulls up on Big E, but then Big E fights back. The number 10, of course, ends up being Ty Dillinger, the perfect 10. And he doesn't come out for a long time. And we see why. Because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn ends up jumping him backstage. And then Sami Zayn decides to take his spot. Goes in the Royal Rumble match, right? Goes in there. They, nothing really happens. People just fight each other, trying to get each other out. Number 11 ends up being Sheamus, and then he gets eliminated by Heath Slater, and like that, I was like, what? And then after that, gets hit with his sister Abigail from Bray Wyatt and gets eliminated by Bray. Number 12 ends up being Xavier Woods, and of course, because New Day, he and Big E worked on moves together on people and stuff. Number 13 ended up being Apollo Crews. Of course, as WWE books him, he does nothing, and he did nothing in this match. Number 15 ended up being Cesaro, and he came in and he went at it with Rusev for a bit. That was interesting to see. Number 16 ended up being Kofi Kingston. He came in and instantly got the most vicious uppercut I've seen Cesaro do in a long time. Kofi Kingston was flying in the air, bro. He sold it perfectly. Then Cesaro ended up eliminating Apollo Crews. Number 17 was the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. And instantly when he got in there, he eliminated Xavier Woods and then eventually eliminates Big E. And I was like, whoa, that's insane. Number 18 was Seth Rollins. He pulled up with fiery trunks looking like Jake the Snake Roberts, right? And then after that, he came in. Let me make sure I get this right. Then we had the Kofi Kingston spot where Jinder Mahal got him out the ring, but somehow Xavier Woods just happened to be at the right place at the right time as Kofi Kingston put his foot on Xavier Woods' chest. Because the rules, it's a loophole in the rule, I guess. The rule was that if both feet must hit the ground in order for you to get eliminated. You have to keep one foot on the thing and you don't get eliminated. So he literally was just moving his foot, leaving one foot on one thing. He had one foot on Xavier Woods. Then he had a plate of pancakes. He put his foot on the plate of pancakes. And then they launched him into the ring. Big E and Kofi Kingston launched him into the ring. He actually jumped over Jinder Mahal. Then he hit the Trouble in Paradise on Jinder, and Jinder like eliminates himself basically. And after that, Andrade Cien Almas hits the El Idolo on Kofi and eliminates him. The NXT champion eliminated Kofi Kingston. Yes, you're not hearing that correct. Incorrect. Number 19 ends up being Woken Matt Hardy, and him and Wyatt go at it. Then they ended up eliminating Rusev, and when they did that, I remember the same amount of boos was when Daniel Bryan got eliminated in the Royal Rumble in 2015. That was insane. Also, you all really thought Daniel Bryan was going to return to Royal Rumble. Ha. Anyways, I'm sorry. They eliminated Rusev. They get the Daniel Bryan reaction. I put this in my notes. I'm sorry if you hear sirens or whatever. I really don't care. Then Matt and Bray ended up eliminating each other. Yeah. So number 20 ended up being John Cena. Got booed, of course, because Philadelphia don't like Cena. And basically everybody jumps him. And they eliminate Elias. And I was like, really? You didn't have to eliminate Elias. I thought y'all were actually trying to build something with them, not just that. And that would have been Samoa Joe, I think. So that's even worse. So then after that, number 21 ended up being Hurricane Helms. He came out, got the big pop, then got eliminated by John Cena. Number 22 ended up being Aiden English, did nothing. The number 23 was Adam Cole, baby. That was clean. That got a pop out of me when Adam Cole pulled up. When I heard Shock the System, I was like, he's not going to come out. And he came out in there. He actually was doing work for a minute. He was going crazy. And Finn actually eliminates Aiden English not too long after that. Number 24 ended up being Randy Orton. He RKOs everybody. He catches Andrade Cien Almas with the RKO in midair, eliminates him, and I was like, golly, Randy, why'd you have to do that? 25 ended up being Titus O'Neil. Nobody cared. Did nothing. 26 was The Miz. He came out to a huge pop for The Miz. I think that's probably the biggest pop he's ever gotten in his career. Something like that. He goes crazy on everybody. Hits the egg kicks on John Cena and somebody else. Going crazy. And then, what was it? Number 27. Boy, number 27 was Rey Mysterio. I lost my mind. If you know how old I am 17 years old. But I've been watching wrestling since I was like a kid. And Rey Mysterio was one of my favorite wrestlers when I watched him. He was the guy. So when he left WWE, I was sad because that's like my childhood just leaving me like that. Then he came back. Hopefully, Rey Mysterio coming back is not a one-off deal and he doesn't go to TNA. Hopefully. Pray to God. But if he could stay on main roster, he should definitely go to his home, which is known as SmackDown. Yeah, man. That happened. Rey Mysterio came in and he actually eliminated Adam Cole. Hits the 619 on The Miz. The 28 ended up being Roman Reigns. Got booed out the arena. Hopefully, WWE learned from their mistakes. And I think they did, but I'll let you know. Okay, so Roman Reigns, he pulled up on everybody. Him and Seth, who tried to eliminate The Miz, and then The Miz's entourage saved him, but then him and Seth hit the Shell Powerbomb on The Miz to the outside, and he fell on the Miz entourage. Then instantly Roman eliminated Seth, and Seth was like, okay, you outsmarted me. 29 was Goldust, and he did nothing. The number 30 came, and it was Dolph Ziggler, and he actually got a huge pop. I haven't seen Dolph Ziggler get that big of a pop in a long time. So then after that, Dolph eliminates Goldust. He was going crazy with the super kicks, by the way. But then he gets eliminated by Finn. Then there was an old versus new spot. It was Finn Finn, Roman, and Shinsuke versus Ray, Cena, and Orton. Old versus new, I guess, because most of them are pretty old. The new people are pretty old. Anyways, Roman eliminated Randy. You know, I guess a knock to what happened last year because Randy eliminated Roman to win, but he eliminated him quick, actually. Then after that, Ray hit a 619 on Roman and Cena. Then Finn eliminates Ray. The final four ended up being Cena, Roman, Finn, and Shinsuke. And WWE ruined it for themselves because they did a, what was it? They did a poll on their website, and they said, who would you rather win? The 26 other men, and then they named these exact four. Come on now, dog. Anyway, so that happened. Let me see. The final four was them. So then it started with Cena and Reigns beating each other up. Well, Cena and Reigns started beating up Finn and vice versa. Finn and Shinsuke had a showdown. Then Cena and Roman had a showdown. Finn goes crazy on everybody. Then Cena eliminates Finn. Cena and Roman jump Shinsuke. Cena and Roman go at it again. Cena ends up getting eliminated by Shinsuke. I thought, there was so many times I thought Shinsuke was going to get eliminated and Roman was going to win. And they was going to have the fans boo the arena out again like they did years ago. But they learned from their mistakes. So Cena's out. The final two is Roman and Shinsuke. There were so many close opportunities where Roman was about to eliminate Shinsuke. There was one part where he speared Shinsuke, and I thought, oh, he's about to pick him up and throw him over the top. Then there was another part that really got me hyped was when Roman went for another spear and Shinsuke hit the Kinshasa on him and eliminated Roman Reigns to win the Royal Rumble. So, ladies and gentlemen, at WrestleMania, as of now, the WWE Championship match will be AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura 2 at the big show. Now, this is a match I never thought WWE would do at Mania because Vince McMahon is in love with Roman Reigns. I didn't think this match would ever happen in a WWE ring. Not in a WWE ring, but at the WrestleMania. I didn't think it was going to happen. And it's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to top their New Japan match because that match, they had no boundaries. They did whatever. You know, WWE has their own style from New Japan. But that match is going to be match of the night. I almost guarantee it. That match is going to be great. If they take the title off of AJ at Fastlane, I'm going to cry because that match is going to bring them so much money. That match is worth tickets alone. Anyways, after that, we got Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan versus The Bar for the Raw Tag Team Championships. So, this match was the crowd dead because they just experienced a Royal Rumble match. And by the way, the Royal Rumble match was actually pretty good. It was at first kind of, I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of it at first, but then when Rey Mysterio pulled up and all the NXT people pulled up that I didn't think was going to show up, then when it came down to the Final Four and it really got them going crazy and my heart started pumping. Like, I don't remember the last time my heart was going crazy during a wrestling match. It's been a long time. So that alone got me into the match. And then, yeah, just the Final Four and Dub, that was amazing stuff right there. But anyways, we got the tag team match. Nothing big happened in this match, honestly. The fans were dead the whole match. They popped for Seth Rollins, booed for Jason Jordan, and had reaction for The Bar. But other than that, they were dead even after the match. So it started off with Cesaro and Seth. Then after a while, The Bar took out Jason Jordan by throwing him into the ring post, and Jason Jordan was dead the whole match. So it turned into a 2-on-1 match, basically. And then after that, they're working on Rollins. Sheamus runs into a turnbuckle, and Seth is on the offense now. Seth hits a frog splash on both Cesaro and Sheamus. Jason Jordan still asks her, even when Seth goes for the tag, he was dead the whole time. The Bar finished Seth with their finisher, and they win the titles again. That was the whole entire match. The match was nothing special. There's obviously dissension between them. I think they're going to have the match at Mania between Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan. I don't know how I feel about that, but anyways. We ended up getting, after that, the Universal Championship match, which was Braun Strowman versus Kane versus the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar in the triple threat match. And this match was boring too. I didn't like it. It was destruction. People got thrown through tables. People got hit with weapons, but it just did not captivate me. I don't know why. Maybe because I wasn't a big fan of it to begin with. But anyway, let's get into it as fast as possible. So Brock goes at everyone he goes at it with everyone. The Kane chokeslam Brock's, take him out for like a few seconds. Brock's come back with a chair. He hits Kane, and then he hits Braun, but Braun was simply unfazed by it. Braun ends up taking out Kane with this incredible knee to the face. If you see it in slow motion, it makes you cringe a little bit. So then after that, Braun and Kane set up tables in the ring. Brock comes back with suplexes. Braun gets put through a table. Kane puts Braun, no, my bad. Brock gets put through a table from Braun Strowman. Then Kane puts Braun through a table. It was so anticlimactic. It was like it looked like Braun Strowman fell into the table and Kane just happened to be right behind him. Anyways, after that, let's see. Kane puts Braun through the table like I just said. Then Brock breaks it up. He went for the pin after that. He chokeslammed Braun and then went for the pin. Brock breaks it up and F5s Kane for the pin, but then Braun breaks it up and basically German suplexes Brock. He throws Brock into the barricade, sets up the announce tables, but then Brock F5s Braun Strowman through the table, then dumps the table on Braun. Kane tries to chokeslam Brock, but gets an F5 through the table. Then Braun decides to, what did he do? Oh, he decided to, flip. Yeah, he dumps the table. I said that. I'm tweaking. It's revenge from SummerSlam. If you saw the SummerSlam main event, then you know what happened. Braun went crazy on Brock, so now Brock got his revenge. So then after that, Braun was dead for a minute, but then he got back up instantly after Kane went through the table. Hits 2 power slams on Brock, and then tries to go for a third one. Kane takes out Braun with a chair. Kane tries to go for a tombstone on Brock, gets pushed into Braun, and then Brock hits the F5 on the chair for the 1, 2, 3. The match sucked. Yeah, the match wasn't good. The build-up was okay for Braun. It got Braun more over than anything. Then after the match, Braun was yelling at Brock Lesnar saying, hey, I forgot what he said, honestly, but I think he was like, hey, you're not finished with me or something like that. Yeah, you know. After that, we end up getting the Women's Royal Rumble match, the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. So let's get into it as quick as possible. Like I said before, number 1 ended up being Sasha Banks. Number 2 ended up being Becky Lynch. And nothing really happened for the first few people that came in. It didn't pick up till like the ending. So then number 3 ended up being Sarah Logan. Then again, nothing happens. Number 4 and 5. Well, number 4 was Mandy Rose. Nothing happened. But then 5 was Lita. This is the first legend that came back. And she eliminates Mandy Rose. Let me tell you something about Lita. She don't need to be wrestling. Or if she going to be wrestling, she got to learn how to wrestle again. Because she looked very sloppy in the ring. Her moonsault looked bad. Her twist of feints looked terrible. I don't know what it was about Lita tonight, but I don't know what it was. Number 6 ended up being Kairi Sane, and she goes crazy on everyone, but the fans really didn't care. Like, the fans didn't care, but when she got eliminated, they booed, which I'm confused. What do y'all want to do, Philly? Y'all don't know what y'all want to do. But anyways, she came out, went crazy on everybody. The number 7 ended up being Tamina. No pop at all, like no reaction. Then she gets a DDT from Lita. Lita hits the sloppy twist of fate on Sasha and Becky, then goes for the moonsault on both. Looks all terrible. She eliminates Tamina and then gets eliminated by Becky. Yeah, pretty much RP Lita. Anyways, number 8 ends up being Dana Brooke. No reaction. And she eliminates Kairi Sane. That's where the boo started. Number 9 ended up being Tori Wilson. And she hits a face buster on Dana Brooke immediately. And then she eliminates Dana Brooke. The number 10 ended up being Sonya Deville. And eventually she eliminated Tori Wilson. She didn't really do much before she eliminated her. She just came in, did little things. Eliminated her. Let me tell you something. The commentators, because Stephanie McMahon was on commentary, by the way, and Maria Menounos was doing the announcement. She sounded so terrible. She was so terrible. Let JoJo do her job. There's a reason she's been doing this for a long time. She understands how to do it. Maria Menounos added extra to stuff that didn't need to be extra. And then also, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss came out before the match, and they were sitting by ringside to watch to see who they're going to face at Mania. After that, yeah, they try to put over Sonya Deville as being the big MMA chick or whatever, but like in the past 24 hours, I've seen 2 legit MMA chicks, which was Shayna Baszler, who can really throw down, and then Ronda Rousey eventually later in the match. Not even the match, just an appearance. So stop trying to put her over like she's like good. Like nobody's ever heard of her. I've heard of Shayna Baszler before she was in WWE as an MMA chick. I've never heard of Sonya Deville before. But anyways, after that, Liv Morgan showed up, does nothing, of course. The number 12 ended up being Molly Holly. And she goes crazy, actually. She's out here suplexing chicks, going crazy. She does this flip, like a 450, like flip onto Sasha. It was crazy. Sasha was standing. She eliminated Sarah Logan as well. It was a mean move. It was nice. Number 13 ended up being Lana. She got a huge pop because, you know, she's married to Rusev. Everybody loves Rusev because of Rusev Day. So then after that, she tries to do something, gets jumped by Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville, but then she takes them both out. But then number 14 ends up being Michelle McCool, and I popped. Because Michelle McCool is Raw. I want Michelle McCool to come back to WWE and wrestle. Like, her and Sasha Banks could have a great match, I think. It could be like another Charlotte match. So she comes in, she goes crazy. She eliminates Sonya Deville, Liv Morgan, Molly Holly, and Lana. Boom, going crazy. Because Michelle McCool was nice. She was tall. She had the longest legs. So she used to boot the crap out of people. Like, I remember Lay Cool. I used to hate them when I was a kid, but now I come to appreciate Lay Cool because they were, like, the part of wrestling that they actually wrestled. Like, Michelle McCool was nice. She was clean. After that, Ruby Riott came out, and she was there. She was pretty much there. She didn't do nothing for a minute. The number 16 ended up being Vicky Guerrero, and I popped. Listen. As a kid, I hated Vicky Guerrero because her voice was annoying as hell. Like, she just used to yell, and her voice used to screech, just saying, "Excuse me." Like, I'm not even gonna do it. And that was her theme song. And then she came out, the whole match, she kept yelling, "Excuse me," getting major heat. And then eventually she got eliminated by all the women. The number 17 ended up being Carmella. She gets attacked by Vicky with the briefcase. If y'all want to bring Vicky back, make her a manager for somebody, because Vicky knows how to get heat on people. Anyways, number 18 is Natalya. She drops all her entrance gear on Carmella, but then Carmella gets up, beats her up, gets in the ring. Man, you know, they fight and stuff. Number 19 ended up being Kelly Kelly. I wasn't excited because I was never a fan of Kelly Kelly because she wasn't a good wrestler. She was just a hot chick. She was not good at wrestling. And it showed tonight. But anyways, she does Kelly Kelly things. That's what I wrote on my notes. Kelly Kelly does Kelly Kelly things. Then Natalya eliminates Michelle McCool, and I was like, damn. Yikes. Anyways, number 20 ended up being Naomi. She gets a huge pop, sort of. Comes out, she goes at everyone until Becky Lynch came in, suplexed her. Then Ruby Riott eliminates Becky. I think WWE should do something with Ruby Riott. Like, forget the whole Riott Squad thing. Nobody cares about these faction things because you're doing the same thing on Raw and SmackDown. Ruby Riott is somebody they can make a big star on SmackDown. She has a very unique look. She's tattooed. She's good at wrestling. I think she can be really a good thing in on SmackDown. They kind of showed in this match that she can do great things for SmackDown. Number 21 ended up being Jacqueline, and she pulls up. She pulls up on hoes. She's out here tackling hoes, punching them in the face, doing all kind of crazy stuff, going at it with people. She pulled up. Number 22 ended up being Nia Jax. She came in, eliminated Jacqueline on site, Kelly Kelly on site. She picked up Ruby Riott, threw her to the turnbuckles, and then eliminated her. And I was like, dang. Then Nia threw Naomi into the girls that was on the outside because she took out the rest of the women's roster, but they went under the rope, so you couldn't really have that. And then she ended up going, and then Naomi was on the, whatchamacallit, the whole time. She was on the barricade, so she never got eliminated. I don't know why the girls didn't drop her. That way they have one less opponent to worry about. But no, they just had to give her a little Kofi Kingston spot. And we'll talk about that in 1 second. So then after that, Naomi ends up climbing walking on the barricade like a tightrope, takes Maria Menounos' chair, gets on the chair, and she's like crawling. She has her feet on the chair, and she crawls to the ring just to get eliminated by Nia Jax. Number 23 ended up being Ember Moon, and she pulled up, selling her arm injury from last night with Shayna Baszler. Had her arm wrapped up in, her arm, she sold it. She went nuts. She pulled up on Ember Moon for a second before, she pulled up on Ember Moon. Ember Moon pulled up on Nia Jax for a second before Nia Jax destroyed her. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, 24 ended up being Beth Phoenix, and she goes at it with Nia Jax. She was trying to pick her up, she fell, then she tried to do it again, and she picked her up, but Nia Jax ended up like breaking her down, going at her back. Then Natalya and Beth have a moment where they take out Nia, and then she gets eliminated by Natalya. So Beth Phoenix gets eliminated by her best friend, and they used to tag team a long time ago. 25 ends up being Asuka, and she pulls up, and her and Amber have a nice moment, as like, everything they've gone through from the Indies to NXT to now. It was crazy. They even got an NXT chant because of the matches they've had in NXT, and their matches in NXT were great, actually. Anyway, she jumps her. They fight. Ember Moon hits the Eclipse from the second rope, and then let's see. And then Asuka eliminates her by one-upping her, always showing that Asuka is always going to one-up Ember. She slammed her arm against the rope, and Ember Moon fell. Yeah, so basically one-upping her. Then after that, number 26 was Mickie James, and Mickie James does stuff. Number 27 was Nikki Bella. Got a nice pop. They even chanted John Cena sucks. She went at it with Carmella, eliminates Carmella. The number 28 ended up being Brie Bella, and she beats everyone up, basically, has a little moment. Then 29 was Bayley. I have nothing to say. Number 30 ended up being Trish Stratus. And Trish Stratus is still good in the ring. She hasn't lost her steps. She's actually pretty nice, like, in the ring. She got a huge monster pop. She came in and went crazy. So Trish Stratus ends up going at it with Mickie James. You know, that whole feud they used to have back in the day. She ended up eliminating Mickie James, one-upping her. Seems like this would be a night of one-up. So Nia pulls up once again, and everybody jumps Nia and then eliminates her because Nia Jax cannot be built up as a monster. This is how we're going to build up Nia Jax as a monster. Have her get beat up by everybody. Cool. Because that's what they did to Andre the Giant, right? Anyways, because that's what Vince says he looks at Nia Jax as. Andre the Giant. I don't remember Andre the Giant getting treated or booked the way... Maybe I'm too young. When I seen Andre the Giant, he was dominating. When I see Nia Jax, she doesn't do much. She loses to people half her size clean. That doesn't make sense. Anyways, they get eliminated. Then Sasha instantly throws Bayley over the top rope and eliminates her. And you should see Charlotte's face. She was like, why would you do this? But honestly, Charlotte, you should be happy because Bayley basically ran her off of Raw. She took her Raw Women's title, beat her, and all this kind of stuff. So you should be happy, Charlotte. I don't care if you turn face or not. You gotta show that Bayley being out of it, sets you up for good. So then eventually she eliminates her. Then Trish eliminates Natalya with a chick kick. And the final four ended up being, Trish Stratus got eliminated by Sasha Banks. She tried to go for the Stratus faction and got thrown out the ring by Sasha. So the final four ended up being the Bella Twins, Sasha Banks, and Asuka. The Bella Twins ended up eliminating Sasha. Then they ended up beating up Asuka for a minute, and Brie was about to get eliminated by Asuka until Nikki came in to save. Then Nikki ended up turning on her sister and taking her out of the match. You should always know that your sister's going to undermine you. It's been the thing between y'all. It's always been the thing. So she eliminates Brie. So the final two ends up being Asuka and Nikki Bella. We all know Asuka's going to win. Ain't no way in hell Nikki Bella was going to win the Women's Royal Rumble match. Get out of here. So anyways, Asuka eliminates Nikki Bella because they ended up fighting on the apron and she kicked Nikki Bella's leg and she fell off and Asuka won the match. So then after the match, we had shenanigans where both women's champions came in there. She shook. No, she didn't shake nobody's hand, actually. So she came in the ring, both women looking in there. I'm like, why are y'all doing this? If Asuka's on Raw and she wins the Royal Rumble match, she's gonna go after the Raw Women's Champion. Am I not making sense? Let me drink some of my water real quick. Like, that doesn't make sense. If that's the case, why didn't Shinsuke Nakamura say Brock Lesnar? No, he said AJ Styles. Like, come on, dog. So then after that, music plays, unknown music. You already know if unknown music plays, you know somebody pulling up. And that's exactly what happened. Ronda Rousey shows up with her music. Her graphics is like, because, she's known as Rowdy Ronda Rousey because Rowdy Piper. So she had that, like, the design of it as her Titantron and had a t-shirt, leather jacket looking just like Hot Rod. Came in there smiling, happy. And then she ends up shaking, trying to shake Asuka's hand. Asuka slaps her hand out. And then she looks at both champions. She looks at Charlotte, who is the SmackDown Women's Champion. Looks at her, points at the WrestleMania sign, possibly alluding that we're going to have the MMA 4 Horsewomen versus the WWE 4 Horsewomen at WrestleMania. Or we could have something with a little bit more continuity to it, which was when she went out of the ring and tried to shake, I think she shook her hand. I don't remember if she shook or did not shake Stephanie McMahon's hand, but she went up to Stephanie McMahon. And if you remember from WrestleMania 31, Ronda Rousey beat up Stephanie McMahon basically, and so did The Rock on the Triple H, and basically had her in some kind of weird art thing and threw her out the ring. Maybe we could have that match at Mania. I wouldn't mind seeing that match, or just seeing the MMA 4 Horsewomen versus the WWE 4 Horsewomen. And honestly, that could work because you see they're building up Shayna Baszler on NXT, which, like I said previously, Shayna Baszler needs to stay on NXT because she's the best heel, I think, in NXT right now. The only heel, really, anyways. But, bring her up for one match, build her up, she's from NXT, she's doing her thing. But yeah, that would be an interesting match, an MMA 4 Horsewomen match versus WWE 4 Horsewomen match. That way we can have the women's champion in a match, and then we can have Asuka versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. That'll work. Or if we do Stephanie versus Ronda, then let me see Asuka versus Charlotte. That would be a great match as well. But anyway, guys, Royal Rumble pay-per-view, it wasn't bad. It was the 2 Rumble matches were good. That was the best part about it. The 2 Rumble matches were good. If that's good, then the show was good. The rest of the other matches were they're alright, I guess. If you put them all into one match, it was an alright match. The show as a whole though was good. Rey Mysterio coming back surprised me. Andrade, Cien Almas, and Adam Cole both coming back surprised me. Hurricane Helms, I was like, why? Why y'all bringing them back? Like, why y'all doing this? Just for them to get eliminated. And then when Trish Stratus came back and all the other returns, that was cool. I like both matches. The Royal Rumble matches were good. Way better than last year's Royal Rumble match. That match was like, yikes. But anyways, you know what to do. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Do what you do to support me. Follow me on all my social media sites down in the description below. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.